A best of 7 between two Titan teams. The reward for winning, facing off against NRG in the lower bracket when everything is on the line. Things just going to get harder as we move forward in the day achieves. This match should be a classic.
It was Spacestation last time. There's potential for Spacestation this time as well, but I don't know. It's hard to say. FaZe, despite the roadblocks against G2, it's tough to say that if they're going to run into those same hiccups that they do today. Don't get me wrong. Daniel, Arsenal, and Reddles are playing out of their minds. There's just so much potential on FaZe that it's entirely possible could swing the other way, and the only way to find out, sit here and watch it.
Personal battles in this matchup here. Typical leaving the team, leaving Spacestation. Daniel coming in to replace him. Typical wanted to prove that he made the right decision. Daniel wanting to prove him wrong. Here's first killer, taking a shot and Daniel out of goal. Get up in time, make the stop. Goes for the dribble on the outside, loses a challenge, but Reddles blasts it to the other side. AJ to try and pick up control, looking for the dribble. And gets it past one player. Daniel puts it back to midfield. First killer retreating, goes to the back pass. Typical, not in position to receive it. We'll see Spacestation move up on offense. Arsenal onto the backboard, and first killer keeps it high. Reddles wants to challenge, but thinks better of it. AJ takes it away from him now. FaZe advancing on offense. AJ looking for the first goal. Not going to find anything.
Typical was so close to connecting with a couple demos that would have given so much space over to FaZe, and that was something that FaZe struggled with yesterday, and Spacestation definitely another team that's very focused on the physical aspect of play, and you're going to have to find a way to dodge them and make sure that they're winning the challenges as the midfield line to capitalize on the weaker defensive structure from Spacestation.
Daniel, far side. Reynolds taking his time on the wall, gets challenged, loses control. Arsenal now past two. AJ in the third man. Pinch it against the backboard and send it back to midfield. Daniel, though, with boost and space, getting the demos. Oh, put it in. Reynolds helped open the gates. The Spacestation scores first.
Classic Spacestation. You get the demo in the box. You go and put the pressure on Force Killer. You force him all the way into the back of the net. But it doesn't matter. Daniel's got the command, the ball control, and he just drives it into the top right corner. No chance for him to save it.
Man, you're in for a bad situation if you're on FaZe here when you see Arsenal popping off for the first goal. This is goal number one, game number one. You got a best of 7, and they are already feeling hot. Reynolds over the top of one. Daniel with space, but Typical will be the first to pass out to AJ. Goes onto the backboard, crossbar down, follow-up is not there, and Reynolds will get up in time. Take this back down. Going for the dribbles. Now Daniel, oh dear, trips it into his own box, and Arsenal.
It's going to work out.
Pushes it off to the corner. Look for an advancement here. Typical. In a rare situation, rocking a topper.
Yeah, he's channeling the corrupted G energy with the pirate hat.
I think he stole it from him yesterday in the reverse, or not in the reverse sweep, in the sweep they got on Rogue.
He's got that Gabe energy going.
Yeah. Here's typical. Back into the goal. Arsenal taking this time here in the corner. Daniel over one. AJ on the wall. Bounce off the ground. First killer's up 4 quickly, but kind of gets to the left side of the ball. Is going to lose control. Now typical over one. Daniel to the backboard. AJ gets up in time. Typical trying to cause some chaos in goal, but not going to make contact before the defender gets there. And we're seeing a lot of just handoffs here, some ping pong back and forth. Neither team really comfortable with the setup they currently have and just opting to volunteer ball control to the other side.
Yeah, the punt definitely going to favor Spacestation, obviously, at the moment. They are up 1. And you see a lot of the punt game because there's generally not too many openings, and you're so focused on just beating that first challenge that's coming at you. And often the best way to do that, hit it as hard as you can and see if you can chase it down. And fortunately, no one's really been able to get a foothold going back on either direction, because no one's really making any mistakes. There we go. Typical gets kind of blindsided here. He's following the play out to the side, and it just takes this hard skip off the wall off this challenge, and he's just not ready for Arsenal.
Yeah, just kind of a continue to go for the neutral challenges until one creates a favorable situation and then pop it into the back of the net. Gives Spacestation a 2-goal lead. But yeah, well, you're saying that I feel like both teams just looking for that moment where all the pieces are together. We saw a moment earlier where I think Arsenal had the ball into the corner. He won the first challenge, then was going up for a second challenge. Daniel at midfield was bumping the third man. But Reynolds was like out of boost in the far corner, so when the ball went to the midfield, he couldn't get there in time. Oh, AJ with a quick drift touch. Oh, and he gets it in! Look at the setup here from AJ.
It's a real three-man effort as well. You can see Typical. He's going to bump the guy out of the way that can stop the challenge. First killer going to force Arsenal up early, which means AJ has an easier read on where he needs to put the ball on this short carry. Gets all the way back around it. Little kiss back into the middle of the net. Great play from FaZe.
FaZe on the board. 1-goal game. First killer takes his time. They gave him time. He keeps his ball super high, glued to the ceiling. AJ back down. Typical looking for bumps. Arsenal manages to hit his brakes, jump over him. No boost from Arsenal now. AJ, for a third time, wraps this one onto the wall. Daniel has to go up for it, and AJ nearly taps it in. The fall from Typical keeps it in the box, and first killer will put it on the backboard. Final 30, only trailing by 1. First killer takes the shot, but Daniel's got it covered. Typical looking at midfield. Does he have the boost for it? Chasing it down, beats 2 places up to Reynolds, and he just blasts it to the back. AJ back to the sky, but he's taking too long to get this ball across midfield. First killer will stop Daniel. Final 10. Reynolds out of the back has control. They missed the demo. Typical, no boost.
Control.
Final 4. First killer puts it on the backboard. Typical puts it on target, but Daniel blocks it out into the middle. Space Station will take game 1.
Can't fool Daniel. He saw that one coming in just enough time. It was a good effort from FaZe. They were definitely trying to link up because you're right, not really too much boost between all of them. So it was kind of this, okay, I can do this and I need you to do something else. And they were stringing them together, but Daniel finally figured out where the dice blocks were going to fall and just jumped out right in front, killed it, and Space Station just able to hold off FaZe. FaZe definitely putting in a decent amount of pressure, actually out-shooting Space Station in this one. 10 shots to 4. And at the end of the day, the only one they can turn in is a real 3-man play where they have to get 2 bumps, and still it wasn't guaranteed. AJ needed to put a nice touch to finish it off.
Yeah, and it was like the first goal from Daniel with Reynolds getting the demolition and the bumps on the other side. Great earned goal from Space Station. And then the following goal just was a let's just play this war of attrition. They'll just go back and forth to see who makes the mistakes. We are banking, we Space Station are banking that we're going to make fewer mistakes than you are. And they were right. They get a second goal out of it. I don't know. It wasn't a particularly like mastermindy series. It was more like a statistics here, earning them the win.
Yeah, the entire middle of that game was really just okay. Here's the input. This is the output that's required to make sure that doesn't go awry. And then eventually one of them didn't match up.
Here's first killer on the following kickoff over the top of 2, taking it up against Daniel. Daniel will win the challenge. Thanks to this guy, he and Reynolds. 0 commit here. Typical comes in an empty goal. Oh my goodness, Space Station completely fall apart.
Great recognition from Typical. He actually starts leaving here initially because he thinks Daniel and Reynolds are going to, obviously hit that ball off the wall, and I think they called each other off.
They did. It was the 0 commit where both players expect the other player to go. You actually could even see it was a very clear one too. It was very obvious.
They both just backflipped.
Yeah, they both made the move to leave the ball to forfeit control. So FaZe gonna enjoy a lead here. Beginning of game 2. Daniel up for this one. Flip reset somehow. And first killer now out of the corner. Got 2 people with him.
You do find yourself in an interesting spot here, though, if you're FaZe. You spent the entirety of the last game trying to figure out how to, break down Space Station and get a goal back the other way. But now you start off with this super early lead, and Daniel's trying to take it away. First killer back in just enough time, and a nice demo from AJ to buy him a few extra seconds. That pressure in the net,
man, you got to reset.
Difficult to handle, and a great stop from AJ is going to make sure the follow-through stays away as well. And FaZe having to fight pretty hard to keep Space Station at bay.
Yeah, they are breathing down their necks. And they're getting the ball into the backboard for free repeatedly here. It's giving them so many good looks. Finally, FaZe will get the ball back to midfield, but Reynolds going to try and turn this one back around. Onto the side, he puts 2 touches onto the wall here, but a demolition onto Arsenal. Really opened up the space here. Back to Typical, off the post, just wide. Love the pass play. Got to be slightly more on target.
I was kind of wondering if Typical had the space to even get around that to pass it back. It was a pretty quick transition. Not a bad choice to go for the shot, just unfortunately not in. First Killer's going to manipulate the challenge and say bye-bye Space Station 2-0.
3 challenges here. 1 and 2 and 3. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm not positive Space Station touched the ball.
I don't think they did.
Wow.
Maybe the first challenge got a piece, but First Killer went right through him.
Yeah, my goodness. What a play. First Killer's going to try to do it again here. Going to try and fake out Daniel, but Daniel finds the sweet spot. Now Typical back to midfield. First Killer turns around. Daniel quick to catch it. Ooh. Double demolition. Typical finds 2. AJ now. Strong back line here from Space Station, though, on the double respawn. Reynolds into the corner.
Oh, what a
drops
dish.
First Killer. Oh, so close. AJ coming in. He's got a little bit of space from the players, but no space on the field. He's crowded into the corner. I'll limit his options. Daniel now sends it to the sky. Gets bumped off the ball, but nobody's there from FaZe to pick it up immediately. They'll go for the challenge off of First Killer. Now, here comes player in the corner. There's Reynolds. Loses the challenge. Typical finds a bump. Reynolds has to quickly fall back into his corner. Now looking for the dribbles. He's got it back to midfield. He's got a full take of boost. Can he beat First Killer here? Takes it to the corner for Arsenal. Across halftime, though, Space Station. We're getting an early lead. And then playing the variance game for game number 1's win. Currently yet to get into the back of the net, down 2-0.
FaZe, oh, I thought AJ was going to put that in for a second, but FaZe getting a lot of big demos as well to really stop Space Station from getting things going. There's the bump on Arsenal to stop him from following up. Reynolds tries to just buy an extra chance at it, and unfortunately for him, First Killer's recovered. Big effort again from FaZe on defense.
I think Reynolds there, I don't know what his approach was, but I'm pretty sure he had a nearly free shot and chose to put it onto the backboard instead of just taking the shot himself. He didn't need to try and earn another challenge another shot. He had earned the shot. It was right there. He had it.
Just couldn't
wasn't able to make it happen. So, yeah, I mean, so opting to give it to another teammate, give them another chance. Oh my goodness, the diving saves here. Small double commit on it. Are they going to be able to punish here? First Killer, the soft touch just enough to keep it out of the goal.
They're low on boost. It's scary right now for FaZe, and that is a welcome touch, even if it doesn't go very far. And the follow-up challenge as well. So much time. Great challenges from First Killer.
Back in front of Arsenal with space. Demolition. Back to Daniel. He shoots far post and is wide. Daniel, second time this game, we've seen him have a really excellent look at the net and not put it between the posts.
He can miss. It's not infinite ice.
The god does bleed. Oh, AJ. It's the stop. Here's Arsenal, though, up against First Killer, and First Killer had it red from the beginning. AJ now on the counterattack. 45 seconds left, leading by 2. FaZe feeling good in game number 2. Looking to equalize the series. AJ for the backflip, back to Typical, dumps it in. It's on the line, and AJ can't push it. Oh, my goodness. Daniel gets it away. This might be disastrous if he's able to beat First Killer, but no, First Killer stops him. Final 30. And FaZe stabilizes.
First Killer too smart. He plays challenges so well. Arsenal really trying to get one more decent look at it. Daniel not able to really square that one up. And that should definitely run enough time on the clock that 2 goals very unlikely. But oh man, Space Station. You know, I would say it was their game to win, but FaZe, you earned it on the defensive side of things, and none more so than First Killer. 5 saves here. Only 1 goal, but the defense that he made possible in this game too. Oh, make or break. Monster stops from him. Massive
stops. They take advantage of some Space Station miscommunication early on and get the first lead there, and then holding on to it there with the defense. Total of 11 saves they put up. My goodness.
There's maybe like a couple of chances for Space Station that you were talking about where it's like, okay, yeah, that was definitely a quality goal scoring opportunity. And, you know, Daniel missed one, and the other one, Reynolds, that slow floater right in front of the net because he just had to jump at it from turn around, try and get it back towards him. And it's just like, they definitely broke the defense down. But like you were talking about in game 1, the piece is just not quite in the perfect orientation to really make it happen for him. So tough break
for sure.
SSG.
And I don't know, like that first open, it's so interesting. We've seen both teams kind of like get out to the early lead, and then I don't know. So I was gonna say like just sit back and just like enjoy the lead, but like FaZe didn't really sit back and enjoy the lead. They did genuinely keep attempting to score there and put the pressure on Spacestation. But Spacestation, I think, won the midfield primarily, got more opportunities, just ran into the goal line defense.
Yeah, press for Spacestation. That's a game that they're very familiar with, so that makes it all the more impressive that FaZe is able to keep them out. And that's why you see shades of how they only allowed 0.89 goals on day one. They're pretty stingy. Oh, you're joking.
My goodness. And another early Spacestation mistake gonna cost them a goal.
Let's take a look. Okay, Arsenal, yeah, he's definitely backwards. Oh, I can't tell if it was a mis-executed half flip, but it was definitely wonky in some direction. He certainly did not go the way he thought he was going to, and he got out in front of the ball.
Arsenal did drop a quick chat oops in chat after that. So,
yeah, that's an oops, buddy.
He understands that was not what he was trying to do. Now he's going to look to redeem himself on the far side, out of boost, but maybe at the flip reset and wins a challenge. First killer off the backboard. This is the outside. Reynolds back in the midfield. AJ puts the pressure on him. First kill looking for the bumps on Arsenal, but the shot's not even on target. So Arsenal will disengage and get the clear.
Okay.
Now it's typical with a lot of space. He's going to fall back, though. He doesn't like his boost situation. Out of the corner. On the wall. There's first killer. Shot is good.
Shot.
Typical opened up the gates too. 2-0 FaZe.
I was on Reddle's camera, and he was just rotating back to net casually here. It looked like they had everything unlocked, but that timing is perfect. I mean, Daniel heads out to the corner because he thinks Reddles is coming back, and he might have left a little bit early, perhaps to dodge the demo, and he just elects to go get the boost while he's on his way. But first killer with the perfect shot off the wall.
Oh no, they're gonna do it to him again. Other stone corner, AJ makes it 3-0 off the kickoff. FaZe already running away with game 3.
Oh, and Arsenal, I mean, what are you supposed to do? You got 12 boost and you see a challenge, and he's rotating into the back post. It's just, it goes perfectly in FaZe's favor. I mean, that's not even anyone, no one really did anything wrong there. That just worked out for FaZe.
No, I think that was also just a brilliant challenge from AJ.
Yeah.
Understanding the defender's position as he moves up to block him. And saying, oh, if I put this to the other corner, we can make a goal out of it. Oh, they nearly get number 4. AJ, though, getting deflected, denied by Reynolds. And that's typical versus Arsenal. That one goes in Arsenal's favor. AJ having to fall back here as Spacestation wins some challenges. Reynolds down the midfield, a lot of space. Daniel's looking to be creative here, keeps it high. Reynolds, no, Arsenal on the follow-up, not going to be able to put it in between the posts. Now AJ off the ceiling. Resets, keeps it high. And then first killer to take over. And oh my goodness, you gotta be kidding me. The team plays straight down the middle.
I mean, Reynolds is rotating back and following this. He sees first killer. He's like, okay, no problem. It's first killer. And then it goes, oh, wait, it's typical. And it's too late by then. He was so dialed in to first killer trying to take that on an air dribble. And he even, you can even know typical's jumping, but you still can't commit until you see him actually take the ball away. That's insane.
Oh, no.
You're going to score again?
Oh, man.
Oh, gosh.
It's over.
No.
It's over. Okay. Just skip the game. Let's just go next. They're up by 5. We're not even to halftime achieves.
Oh, that's tough. Here, this is how they arrived at the 3.84 goals per game from day one.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just get blown out, man.
If I remember correctly, FaZe was the #1 offense on day 2 on yesterday. And
were they?
It was also not just like as a team, but like players. 1, 2, 3. FaZe. First killer, typical AJ.
I believe that. So what do you want to talk about for 3 minutes, Wave?
Well, I'll talk about for 5 minutes. I want to talk about the craziness that was goal number 3 or 4. I've kind of already forgotten. As Daniel finds one on the other side, here's the thing. Because they got the lead so early, they do give Spacestation a lot of time to come back here. So yeah, it's statistically over, but it's not mathematically over.
It's true.
Those are different things.
They are.
Statistics and math.
But 4 goals. Okay, 4 goals, 3 minutes. You definitely know Spacestation's got the potential. They put up, what, 8, almost 15 shots in the last game. It's possible. They certainly have.
Absolutely possible, but
saved by FaZe.
it's just unprecedented in the RLCS. It's never happened. So we'll see if they're able to do it. It was goal number 4. It was the one where it was the passing up the middle. You saw, I think AJ started on a dribble. He started like with it glued to the ceiling, and then as he's falling, he's out of boost. First killer comes up, takes it from him. And when you see that kind of like mid-air handoff, you fully anticipate, like, the thing is that you're paying attention to AJ, and then first killer takes it from him, and you go, oh, okay, now I got to pay attention to first killer. The advantage of the play is that you were reading AJ, and now you have to read first killer who you weren't reading already, right? In car language, the initial trajectory and stuff like that gives you a lot of information. You don't have that on first killer. And then they do it again as Typical takes a second midair handoff from first killer. It's not often you see a double midair handoff like that. I thought that was a really cool goal.
It is tough. It's a lot to handle for any defender, and yeah, certainly not something you get to see every day. But it is really good at crossing up defenders. It worked to perfection on that particular instance, and FaZe really not wanting to give up too much. But Daniel may get a goal here.
Okay. So now this is if we need to find something to talk about. This has been. To me now, a characteristic across 2 games, Daniel being just ever so slightly inaccurate to the part where he's not, while we did see a strong FaZe defense in game 2, we also saw the really good opportunities going wide and not forcing FaZe to be perfect on defense.
Yes, that is true. That is something that generally Spacestation has done an excellent job with. The placement has usually been so perfect.
Oh, wow.
Oh, well, okay.
All right.
Write that one off. That's garbage time. It's
almost all Brazils are garbage time. It's crazy when garbage time starts with 20% of the game.
With 2.5 minutes left. But yeah, you even think back to Regional 1 for Spacestation, right? And you had, I thought Reddles was playing a phenomenal series. Arsenal as well, playing a phenomenal regional. And it was really just, okay, how does Daniel look? The answer was Daniel looks great, but it was more so that, oh man, this Arsenal-Reddles combo has been absolutely revamped. And to kind of have them all struggle with shooting here with a slow start against FaZe is a bit surprising considering how the winter split has started out for Spacestation.
Yeah, and I don't know. Like, this is, you know, we saw in the winter split that there was a certain degree of Spacestation struggles at closing out series that became like a trademark of theirs, and one you do not want to have. But it was something we saw consistently time and time again. First killer finding the shot here, and AJ will find the Brazil. 13 seconds left. Oh, they're gonna beat him in style.
You channeled the energy. I wasn't sure if it was actually going to happen, but what are you supposed to do with that dish from first killer down into the middle? It forces the defenders who are both tied up on the backboard to go and think about it. And AJ, you know, he's a very smart guy. He's in the perfect spot for it.
They will get that one. Can they hold on for the final 10? Don't put in another goal. Come on.
Don't ruin it.
Come on. It's fun.
It's okay. The B just becomes an 8.
That's just true. That's true. So the thing is, we were talking about FaZe getting another win here, obviously. The story of Spacestation in the winter split was this team is really good but has trouble closing things out. That felt like, it feels like Daniel completely removed that situation though. Like once we saw in the winter split. Yeah, okay. We're in the winter split we're in now that we have Daniel. They're like, okay, cool. This is a new team, new roster. They're looking hot. That's not going to be a problem anymore. So I don't even think I can put this on like a lack of a clutch factor. This feels like
it's not even a clutch factor. It's just that, you know, Spacestation's, it's not quite, you know, the pinpoint precision we're used to. And I'm kind of wondering that if it had been there, do you have a different series, right? Because we're currently at what is it, 2-1, if memory serves.
2-1, yes.
And so I think you are forced, if you're Spacestation right here, to write off that last game. I mean, it was 5-0 at 3 minutes left.
Yeah.
It was 3-0 at 4 minutes left. It's just like, okay, one of them's gonna get away from you every now and again. And I actually wonder if like a complete blowout like that kind of serves as a mental reset. Because, you know, you can kind of check out a little bit. Obviously, you're still gonna play, you know, the game out, but it's like you've got like 3 minutes to just be like, okay, let's go think about this one. Because they played a great game in game 2. I mean, you outshot them almost 15 to like 6. It's insane. Yeah. So it's just like, you know, you could do it, and you can just sit there and not get too far in your head.
Ooh, Daniel with flip reset. 2 defenders to beat here. An early challenge. 2 people on the back line means one can just go willy-nilly and look for the tackle. And AJ gets up into him. Wrestler with the demolition on the wall. And down Daniel now. Putting this back. Oh, Reddles. 2 players from Spacestation in the midfield having a side flip out. Now, first killer looking for the separation, puts it over the top of Typical here.
Not a super big fan of how aggressive they want that third man to be on Space Station right now, but currently hasn't led to any major detriment yet.
Here's first killer. Put this back down. Typical now. Onto the backboard and across the box. First killer looking for the goal, but Reynolds will block him. And already a massive improvement from game number 3. We are out of the first minute and no goals have been scored.
Ooh, he's so fast.
And I do think what you're saying about Daniel off the ceiling. We'll see AJ get this one away. What you're saying about like when you can kind of chalk a game up as a loss early in the game, the rest of the game kind of functions as a timeout. We see the Space Station didn't opt to take a timeout after getting Braziled. I think in their mind they hold on to that.
He's a genius.
That game and Daniel. He nearly got the shot, but Typical dives across and takes it away from Arsenal. Typical, a one-man wrecking crew right now. Completely shutting down Space Station's attempts here. Double commit out of goal, though. Daniel should have an open net. Passes to Arsenal. Blocked by first killer on the recovery. And now AJ back to midfield. Space Station trying their best. FaZe making mistakes and still playing perfect defense. On the backboard, a miss. Follow up from first killer. Puts on the backboard again. Is anyone there? No. Follow up good. Arsenal blocks it. Here comes Arsenal. No, AJ is not going to get a second attempt here. Typical's going to try, but the flight's going to be bad. Man, both teams with some really pop-off defense in that one. Finally, they find the open, and Space Station's on top.
Hello, demo game for Space Station. Welcome back to the land of the living. It's what got G2 rolling against them. It's what's going to net them their first goal here in Game 4 and perhaps tie the series up if it holds out. But that was a great couple of sequences for both teams. I mean, nobody expecting Daniel to come up with a miss from that first killer AJ transition. He didn't even go for the double tap as Reddle's going to take one away, and Typical taking away a great opportunity from Daniel as well. Kind of, you got the big spurt of offense out of nowhere where it's kind of just been this, we got to figure out where we want to be and how we want to get there.
Man, FaZe are winning some crazy 50s. As Arsenal gets up, AJ with a lot of space. A bump from first killer should maybe help, but Daniel to the backfield. He gives the ball to first killer. Reynolds has got to get us off the backboard. He actually traps it. Demolition. Arsenal opens the gates, and Typical will tie the game.
Well, this is just first. It's not necessarily first killer's thinking, oh yeah, Reynolds is going to miss this. It's kind of more of a product of I'm in the right place already. I'm going to put the pressure on him so that if something is there, it's going to be as open as possible. Typical, definitely recognizing, okay, definitely misclear, push forward, and yes, teammate connects with the demo, makes it easy.
Yeah, once the demo happens, that's a guaranteed goal, more or less. 2 minutes left. Tie game. Typical up. Give the ball back to first killer. They get it around, and AJ on the outside now. After a failed challenge, he ends up in the cherry pick. He'll get a boost steal as well. Things looking better and better for FaZe. Awkward bounces, though, and AJ's not able to make use of it. Now Typical losing the challenge. Arsenal's got the dunk on him.
I want to see more Arsenal in control of the ball. Mostly Reynolds just because... Go for it.
I was going to say Reynolds for a moment was the only player on the field. What were you saying?
I just want to see Arsenal have a little more agency on how Space Station pushes up the field. I feel like all of his ball control and how he approaches challenges is so deceptive and difficult for defenses to read. So if he can get the ball in his hands a little more often, I think they're going to find themselves in some pretty favorable spots.
First killer out to AJ. Back to first killer. And I have trouble getting this one online. Follow from Typical, though, to the backboard. Reynolds this time getting off the backboard early. Free jump. He'll get it all the way down the field. Final minute tie game. FaZe holding the lead in the series, looking for match point. It's AJ. The outside. Arsenal now back down to the looks for demos. Oh,
and the demo, yes.
Another one. Daniel's shot is soft. AJ gets it away. Typical. Well, hanging out, waiting for the ball to come back down to him. Reynolds in the third man. Connects to Daniel. Separation. Typical meets the challenge. Now AJ off the wall. Bounces it through the corners. First killer to the backboard. Yeah. Arsenal away. AJ keeping this high. Final 20. FaZe looking to threaten, but struggling to find that full offensive set. There's a fake. Back down to first.
Oh, it's going to go.
Oh, they opened it up in the midfield. Now they've got the lead.
Oh, of all people, it's Typical, the one who pulls Arsenal off. A little hesitation on the ceiling, the delayed flip reset off the wall, and the defense just doesn't have the time to react. What a play from Typical.
I don't don't know if I've ever seen somebody fake somebody on the ceiling. He hits his brakes, just waits for the player to fly by, and, you know, the coefficient of friction or whatever keeps him glued to the ceiling for long enough that he can just hang out there. But here comes Reynolds, looking to tie it up. No, first killer gets it through the back line. Clock should be out. Put it into the dirt. FaZe will take another win, and Space Station looking good. Look at a significant improvement from game 3, now on match point.
I'll be honest, I was completely ready for overtime there. That win came out of nowhere. Sypical just found himself in the right spot. Little shimmy shake. Like you said, not often you get the chance to pull off a little delayed touch from the ceiling, but works to perfection there. Arsenal is absolutely thinking he was going to take that smooth as you please, and he gets his old teammates back for sure.
First killer and Sypical, 100% of the offense in this game.
Gosh.
Look at that. Oh, my goodness. That really pulling out the stops in what was a much more of a game that we expected between these teams. Finding the highlight plays, finding the forcing the options, earning this offensive productivity. My question, though, the big question mark for me, though, is Daniel down there at the bottom, 150 score. He had 3 shots and nothing else. That, for me, is if Daniel steps up here on Wasteland, we could see a very different series. I need to see Daniel popping off for space.
Yeah, he did have a couple opportunities to try and put one away there, so the ice may have melted a little bit. Granted, we've kind of noticed that from the start of this series, the shooting doesn't seem quite as spicy as he has been. He's been pretty much unfallible. If you've given him a shot on target,
exactly.
Even defenders in net, he has been locked in. Dead eye Daniel. Unfortunately, here in this series, and to make it worse, it's in the lower bracket, just not having that put away potential.
This is the Daniel we saw get the first ever best of 7 overtime reverse sweep in North America.
Oh, with a bump.
He's in the history books for forever. They'll never take that spot away from him. Today, I don't know, maybe feeling the fatigue of how intense that match was yesterday.
It is a tough thing. That's the hardest part about Rocket League at the highest level, and in general, the consistency. You can be absolutely out of your mind insane, but to go in and be absolutely out of your mind insane day after day after day is so difficult.
Putting on a 40-hour work week of insanity is just going to be taxing on anybody. Here's first killer. Still got some boost. Over the top of 1. No flip to work with, but Reynolds will get the block. Sypical beating Reynolds. Looking to beat Daniel. Wins 2 challenges in a row. First killer's up for this one. Beats Arsenal as well, but Arsenal gets just enough on it to put it to the corner. Now AJ's nice separation. Back to first killer. Look at that pass. Look at that shot. FaZe back on top.
And I was kind of watching the rotation back here for Space Station. Daniel, for once, actually took a very shallow line. He didn't go back post, and I think if he had, he probably finds himself in a position to maybe save that, but kind of starts cutting inside Arsenal, who is playing near post, and he just finds himself out of position again on that quick pass.
Yeah, I mean, the touch from the defender there, or the touch from, I believe it's from AJ on the wall to get behind the ball, like get his car fully between the, oh my goodness, and then a soft one from Daniel here on the other side to tie the game.
I don't think this one had enough juice to get through, but Sypical can't win the challenge, and
oh dear,
AJ is just trying his best, and still wondering how Sypical couldn't make his way back. I kind of swapped through because I didn't quite catch it all on the first look through, so I'm kind of at a loss for how Sypical didn't quite make it back in time. I know he had no boost, so that could have had something to do with it.
Oh, first killer trying to get it out, but Arsenal out of the corner has it. And a tie game, regardless of how the goal makes it in, regardless of how Sypical doesn't make it back. This is the situation we find ourselves in. Arsenal looking to cover this up. Oh my goodness, that would have been the nuts shot. But now pitched the other way, that would have been. A nut shot followed by the least lucky shot possible. There's AJ up against Daniel. Drops it back into the corner. Sypical pass the first killer. Keeps it low.
He's going to try.
But he doesn't have the boost to reach it. AJ didn't have boost. He was that close. Oh, that hurts so bad. And now Daniel on the other end. Sypical's got to bail him out. What a turn of events.
You had to try and go with first killer putting that one so close to being in. And unfortunately, no one able to connect. And a couple of bumps here from Space Station as well. It's going to be 2-on-2. First killer's going to be a little bit late getting back as he needs boost. It's going to be a pass to Daniel. It's off the wall. That one's a little high for Arsenal. First killer has had enough time.
Oh, here's first killer. Into the midfield, but AJ's right behind him. He was in the shadow position, not the pass reception position. And now Arsenal, oh, he nearly drops it, but AJ gets to the outside. Daniel, can he connect with Reynolds? Reynolds comes into the corner, and AJ Has a lot of time and space off the ceiling. Gonna hang behind that ball. First killer with a lot of space. We'll get it across the midfield line or across halftime. In game number 5, FaZe on match point. A win here sends them through to face the General NRG in the lower finals.
Ooh, no pressure on Daniel for the demo. It's okay. They found it on Arsenal. I was kind of wondering. I felt like FaZe had a real opportunity there with AJ so far forward and a ball just way up above their heads.
Ooh, big bump on Typical. Spacestation trying to stay alive and force game 6. First killer. Following this one, had 1 boost in the tank. Just enough to win a second challenge. Oh, AJ.
Corner. Oh, it tipped off AJ. Unlucky.
They're tangled up on the side here. AJ, lucky he was able to disengage from that fight. Completely open net. Both teams, though, suddenly, for just a moment passive, we see the rare, all 3 blue players in the blue half, all 3 orange players in the orange half, just kind of in their back thirds. But here comes FaZe now, after the reset.
Good ideas from Typical. And I'm surprised. Typical playing a little bit further forward than I would normally see him on this roster in this particular game, but he's been making some big plays in terms of the setup department, so maybe he's got one more.
Defense. Standing strong over and over again. First killer. Through 1, and now through Arsenal. Through 3, but the ball is wide. Red Bulls will be able to get back to it in time. Now Typical looking for that separation again. This one will get connected by a Spacestation player, and it's over the top of the shooter. First killer in the third man's got to reach. Extends this to the ceiling. Typical's going up for it. Up against Daniel. Tries to drop it behind him. Follow up. First killer's missed. Reddles now out in the counterattack. NAJ, the demolition on the Reddles. Opens up the place. AJ through 2.
There.
Arsenal's got to reach this. It's still dangerous. First killer trying, but no. Typical with the last attempt. Back to AJ. They're low on boost, and the long clear. Up the Reddles. Drops it in.
Oh, he got there.
14 seconds left, and Spacestation's on top.
Daniel absolutely launched this. Wasn't sure if Reynolds was going to be able to get all the way, but he made it look so much easier than it actually was. Nice delicate touch to make sure it found its way safely into the back of the net. Caught FaZe trying to press real hard. They have too many forward. They're able to convert a super late counterattack.
Oh, man. 8 seconds left. And Spacestation looking to survive. So FaZe is trying to tie it up here.
Okay, first killer just...
Oh, he missed. No, not going to happen. Misses on the wall. Spacestation bouncing back, getting the second win in game 5. We'll go to game 6.
Oh. Again, this another game that's just won out of nowhere. Yeah. It's really pretty even across the board. It's just a matter of, okay, who makes the play? And FaZe Clan, I actually felt like they started to get their grips right there in the end. I was liking Typical being aggressive, the supporting second player instead of the third man back. First killer's really been caught as the deep man more often than not here in this game against Spacestation. That's actually playing pretty well, I think, because those strong clears from Spacestation, he's handling them very well. And there is your difference maker. Right there. A couple of pixels between that one being OT.
This replay package is really confirming the thing that I noticed about this game. I think FaZe's boost management was the big weakness. That goal goes in if AJ has a little bit more boost. The entire team was completely out. First killer picked up a boost like back in his third right as the player missed. But then on the following goal as well, where Spacestation takes the lead, FaZe entirely out in the tanks. And if you watched AJ as he's trying to make the touch in front of the box, he's completely slow. He can't reach the ball again because he's out of boost. So FaZe so aggressive, but that does require a lot of resource. And you're going to have to find a way through. A miss from Typical. Daniel will tap that in. He's not going to miss that one. And now Spacestation with a lead.
Well, you can't afford that. That's for sure. In a game 6, just a straight miss. He either thought that Daniel was going to hit it into him, and he just had the timing all wrong, or he definitely just straight whiffed that. Either way, honestly, kind of an unacceptable miss right there. But first killer's going to help him out, bail him out. Let's reset it, put it back to 0-0.
He's like, it's okay, my guy. We got the best player in the world on our team. Here's first killer on the kickoff. Quick goals. So we'll be playing a 4-minute and 32-second game of Rocket League here, as we've just gone back to zeros. AJ off the side, getting bumped, but managing to hold on to control here. Daniel Back to midfield. First killer off the wall. Touch from Arsenal. We'll take it past Typical. And Reddles will keep AJ grounded. AJ getting bumped by Arsenal. Looking for the pass back out. And first killer onto the corner. Into an empty backfield. Follow from AJ and Typical. This blasted to the top and FaZe just like that on top.
They were trying to figure out which of the two of them had the better line on this ball. Ends up being Typical. AJ absolutely boosting out of the way to give him a nice clean look at it. And good thing he did. That was money top left corner.
And having two players up like that, funny enough, it completely thwarts any defensive preparations Spacestation's trying to do. You can't read where that shot's going. Yeah. You have to react. You don't even know who's going to take the shot. So when it's 106 kilometers per hour, upper 90, it's a guaranteed goal. Congratulations, FaZe. You did a good job.
Oh, this is tough to handle.
Yeah. Yeah. Then they fall apart on defense. Off the backboard for free. Not a good look.
Yeah, Typical doesn't go up to play the backboard defense. First killer was thinking about it, but they both saw how hard that ball got hit up there, and it was going to be coming back down way too quick. So open backboard. They put the pressure as well. As soon as they see it go up and it's not going to get cleared out, they rush the box to try and put the pressure on the defenders, and you're right, they couldn't handle it.
Oh, trying to hit him, but the ball just not quite rolling fast enough for the fake to work here. And just barely out of the first minute, 4 goals in this game. Such a different experience than the first 5 games of the series. His first killer over the top of one. Onto the backboard, Daniel with the clear. Typical. Putting it high. Now the soft touch. Daniel out of the corner. AJ onto the side wall. Chasing this down with some space, and is still hovering in front. Yep. First kill to try and thread the needle, but not quite there. Typical to put pressure on him. Low boost situation for Spacestation. Reddle's the only one with it in the tank, and he's up in the first man. The rest of them will get it out of their corners. And Daniel with a soft touch to the edge. Typical trying to put it behind him. Gets 2 touches, now 3. Spacestation manages to put the walls in place. Keep FaZe out of the back of their net.
What a pop. I wonder if that buys him enough time. It's kind of awkward. Spacestation handling it well.
What a stop. The wall pinch, not today. Spacestation finding their groove in the midfield. The 1v1's going more and more in their favor as AJ gets through one. Daniel out of the goal. Just Typical now. First kill in the midfield. No, he's not there. All the way in the back, expecting Reddles to make the touch.
Yeah, he wasn't real confident in going for that challenge because the spacing, he felt like if he went for it, he was probably just going to get beat and leave an open net, so he decided to just give it up.
First killer to AJ. Can he redirect it in? AJ doesn't make contact. First kill in the follow-up, though. They completely strand the defender in front of the box and FaZe back on top now.
Yeah, I think this is, it's Reddles. He's definitely thinking about trying to stop AJ's double tap. And then as soon as he sees AJ miss, he has to react, and hopefully he can get a touch to deny. He's not even thinking about having to stop first killer touching the ball. That's just a tough spot to be in.
Yeah, no, the dual threat makes it, he has to pick one to block, and he picked the one that didn't happen, so he's out there. Nothing Reddles, nothing better he could do.
Think of it this way. What are the odds they miss the double tap or they hit the double tap?
Yep. I think he made the right choice as well.
A lot of the time, they're going to hit it.
I think defending AJ is the correct choice. There's nothing that is not a mistake for Metals. It is a well-crafted offensive position from FaZe. 149 left to go. They've got the lead. Everything they need to take the win in the series, but Reddles is up for this. Passing to Daniel. Kurskiller gets over the top of him. Arsenal versus Typical. Typical was recovering from a jump, and now Daniel out of the corner. Nearly puts it in. First killer with another miss. AJ up to the middle. He's out of boost, though. Typical now back to first killer. Somehow they spread the needles on this one. Looking for the double tap. He drops another one in. Oh, man. Spacestation, again, can't touch the ball.
First killer actually really smart here. Doesn't even waste his time thinking about going for the block on Reddles. It's like he just knew. Reddles either hits this and he clears it, or he's going to miss. And all I have to do is make sure it gets under that crossbar. Great approach from first killer.
Oh, and again, I think banking on Reddles missing with the speed that you got down the field, with how quickly that offensive position developed for FaZe, Reddles has to react so perfectly.
Yeah, it needs to be a perfect read off that bounce. Yeah, otherwise you're just toast.
Choosing to read the miss rather than going for the dunk, I think absolutely the right decision. Man, FaZe just having all the tools working in their favor as they're back on offense looking for goal number 5.
They might get one back.
He's got Riddle off the field. Can they get the bump on first killer? No. First killer manages to get through Reddles and then turns this back around. Look at this quick half rotation. A minute left. Reddles to the goal. AJ clears it away. Spacestation got a lot of work to do here. Arsenal can make it easy with a goal. Back down to Daniel. Daniel, he places it in. 1 goal game, 46 seconds left.
They got tired of First Killer saving everything and stopping every approach that they have, and so they do the nice little give back and make them defend the entirety of the net.
Such a close one. But they needed that goal. That makes this so much more doable. Back to a 1-goal game. Do we go to another overtime?
Oh, that's weak. A lot of space here for Space Station.
Oh, Arsenal hitting the brakes.
He doesn't even know what to do with it. He's like, give me a second.
Reddles on the outside. Oh, First Killer demolished. Reddles, an opportunity. He had to take some time to look at the ball again, though. The shot placement from Daniel just wide, and First Killer puts it to the corner. Final 20. Space Station. Tournament live on the line. They have to go to overtime. AJ back to the midfield. Arsenal with position. He's got Daniel on the flank.
Ooh,
Final 10. Daniel's up for it. Off the backboard. Trying to set up Reddles.
Oh, okay.
Back to Arsenal. 5, 4. Arsenal to Daniel. 2, 1. Not defended. And it's in. 1 second left. Tie game.
You knew the pass to Daniel was coming. It's just AJ doesn't have any boost to actually do anything about it. And Typical, I don't know if he took it away from First Killer. No way to know. You got to dive at that. It doesn't matter. But wow. From the brink.
Space Station stays alive, and we go to our first overtime. Space Station has to score to stay alive.
Whew. Well, let's see it. Can you break him down one more time?
Looking to force game 7. Daniel clearing the net. First Killer with the flip reset. It's past the third, or past the second rather. The third comes up. Reddles. Is that a goal? Now Daniel trying to put pressure on AJ, and he gets it from him. Reddles a lot of boost here. Slow to use it in the corner. Just trying to hold on to possession, see if he can get it back to Daniel. But the FaZe players winning in the midfield now. 30 seconds in. Oh, man. Here's Daniel up against First Killer. Separation. First Killer will enjoy it. Now Arsenal above the backboard. 2 defenders up for it. Typical's got to play clean. Gets past 1. Daniel's through. Looking for the separation now. No one in front of the box for Space Station. Arsenal comes up from midfield. Back to Reynolds. They get the defense. 2 players up for it. Can Typical stop it? Another demolition on the First Killer. Typical makes the save to keep FaZe in it.
We really need FaZe to start defending that backboard with a little more aggression, because them giving that spot to Space Station, serving them no benefit. Reddles is up there, and he will make sure First Killer can't get a clean pass.
Here's AJ. Arsenal takes it from him. AJ to First Killer. The passing. Out to the edge.
Oh, they have...
Over to AJ. AJ and Typical both up for a dual threat. Doesn't work out for them again. Can they win it on this touch? Back to Typical for the win. Blocked. Reynolds makes a save. Another savior medal here. Every team having to stand strong on the goal line.
Oh, again, there it is. Whew, and he got up to it that time. He realized it as he was gearing up for that hit. He was like, I need to get up there, don't I?
Typical of AJ. Now the First Killer. As AJ reaches for this onto the wall. Oh, First Killer not going to make contact. Typical through 1 onto the backboard. Daniel's there. Soft touch. Arsenal can try and help, but look at the bump from Reddles on his retreat back in. Whoa.
Classic Space Station play. It's actually netted them possession here.
Typical on the outside. Passes down. Daniel's there. Now Reddles. Oh, he wanted to take control. Baits in First Killer, but First Killer wins the challenge. And now Typical not going to, he lands awkwardly on the ball, has to leave it for AJ. FaZe just looking for that golden goal that sends them through. Here's First Killer.
Yeah.
Too much power on the ball. Arsenal will beat Typical to it. Now Reddles up against AJ. Dribbles 1. Woo! Can't take it from First Killer. Out to Typical. Typical misses.
Space Station starting to get their hands more onto the ground game and realizing, okay, see if we can just manipulate a defender just enough to give us a small opening.
Here's Reddles. He tried, but Typical couldn't reach the First Killer. Now looking for the soft touch. Daniel reads it somehow. And Typical demolished. 2 players demolished for FaZe. First Killer, the only FaZe player on the pitch. Daniel's got it past him. AJ on the respawn, gonna be able to boost. Daniel, this is such a good spot. Typical's gonna be able to boost too. They strand it, but Reddles isn't there for the shot. Typical and AJ keep it back to the outside, and we go around again.
Yeah, Reynolds just saw First Killer, and maybe he didn't know First Killer didn't have a lot of boost, but he just realized he was going to be beat to that ball, so he didn't even waste his time jumping for it and pulling himself out of position. But Spacestation doing their best to try and break him down. FaZe working very hard to keep Spacestation from getting any quality opportunities, and that's just for Space to see if they'll maybe miss something.
The double demolition play, though, I mean, if Spacestation loses this, I got to question how they weren't able to take the win there. It gives you so much information. You know where both players are, and you know how much boost they have. Given that you beat First Kill in the midfield, they have to go to goal. And you watch Typical burn all 35 of it in the air, and Reynolds is sitting back waiting to like, oh, what if he's going to make the touch here? It's like, just crash the box. But I don't know. We'll see. Here they come. They can finish it off right now. Here's Arsenal into the corner.
Oh, great pass.
Arsenal to Typical.
Gotta say, you have to like Spacestation and how good they are at digging the ball off that sidewall out towards the middle. It's giving them decent looks on target. FaZe starting to wise up to that because that's how they've lost a couple of goals in this game already.
Daniel out of the backfield. He's already got the separation off the sidewall. But here's Reynolds with the follow-up for the win. Look for the top. Arsenal the follow-up. It's still wide. Reynolds and Daniel going to hold on to control here. Find boost on the way back out, but Daniel demolished in the midfield. FaZe will try to see if they can put this back into a semblance of reasonable control. Back to Typical on the wall. He gets it past one. He's got First Kill in the mid. A lot of boost. Gets it through two. Reynolds has to play perfect. Off the wall. He gets it past First Killer. AJ in the midfield will try to go for round two, but he's got a lot of boost. It's going to be alone, though. Through one. Now, back out to the midfield. Here's First Killer for the win. He puts it through. FaZe going to take the win, send Spacestation home. They got a rematch against NRG.
Yeah, they're both stuck here in the corner, and Reynolds so aggressive as that man on the line. He was thinking, you know, I'd rather try and challenge it in the corner before it makes it to midfield instead of trying to just read a shot that I'm not going to be able to see coming at me clearly. Unfortunately, turns out not even to get a hand on it, and First Killer absolutely going to lead FaZe Clan to a win here in this lower bracket game. Honestly, incredible series from that guy. What a show.
What a game. What indeed. Back and forth. They played an entire extra game of Rocket League here in overtime. 5+ minutes. We basically went to game 7. And the back and forth. The 1 second goal here from Daniel Dotis to get us there. Man, that man is still popping off.
Oh, tough break for Spacestation, though. You really felt like they were playing some excellent Rocket League all series long, and unfortunately, their first match of day 3, just not the same level of performance that they'd had leading up to this point. But one thing you can say, FaZe Clan definitely stepped it up compared to yesterday as well, so a well-deserved win for them.
Well, we're going to get to see something special here. We got NRG taking on FaZe. Last time these teams played, it went to game 7 and NRG took the win. Can FaZe change the story here? We got that coming up after the break.